Hello YouTube, it's the Angelic Alchemist again. Today I'm going to share with you something that is pretty cool, I think. Basically, a while back, I noticed that Monster High doesn't really have that many Asian monsters. Sure, they have Jin Firelong, who's Chinese dragon, and they have Abby, who's technically a Yeti, which is a Tibetan monster, but I noticed that they had no Japanese monsters. Now, Japan has a quite plethora of interesting creatures in their mythology, because I'm a mythology nut, so I know this. Anyways, one of my favorite Japanese monsters, and a very popular Japanese monster in the media, is the Kitsune. Hold on, I'm going to adjust that a little. Yes, this is not my usual studio, quote unquote, but this is my soon to be room, so I'm just hanging out in here. Anyways, I created a original monster, but Mattel doesn't take ideas from non-professional toy designers, which I think is kind of unfair, because this is a pretty cool idea. Anyways, a couple Christmases ago, actually last Christmas, my cousin took a Monster High build your own monster kit and created her my monster to life. She painted the doll itself with some paint that comes off really easily when you touch it. Unfortunately, because of the plastic, it's a chemical reaction or something. And so I have to be real careful when handling her. Unfortunately, some of her paint has come off. I'm waiting for my cousin to repaint her. I will post another video when she is repainted. But anyways, here she is. Oh, Sakura Kitsune. Sakura Kyubi. Yeah, Kitsune. She is a Kyubi no Yoko, or Kyubi no Kitsune, which in Japanese means nine-tailed fox. Now, if you notice on her behind her, let me just adjust her tail, she only has 5 tails. That's because that's how my cousin made her, and technically in my story she's immature. Technically she's only a teenager, so why would she have all 9 tails? She is from Japan. She basically has this whole background story and stuff. Her hair wasn't always purple and blue. It was actually originally black, which is a common Japanese hair color. Actually, most Japanese people have black hair, unless they're anime characters. Or they died, or they're mixed or something. But interestingly enough, she's from Japan. Basically, I created a Japanese version, Japanese city called Terkyo, which is basically the monster version of Tokyo. But she didn't grow up there. She grew up in like one of the other cities in Japan. She actually went to a human normie school because in mythology, kitsunes have transformation magic, which means she could look like a normal human girl if she wished. And nobody at her old school knew that she was a monster. In her story, she actually comes to America because one of her relatives, like her mother, is sick. I'm going with the mother. That's my original idea. I may change it. But anyways, her mother is ill and she can only get the treatment she needs in America. So Sakura here, her name means cherry blossom, which is a pretty common name in Japan. I've seen it a lot in anime, but anyways, yeah, her name has meaning, and her last name is what they call a fox, the fox demon, which is what she is. I got her dress at a convention. These shoes came in a Claudine outfit kit I got a while back when I first started collecting the dolls. Actually, this is basically just something because I didn't want to have to use my other Monster High doll clothes for her. Wanted her to have her own outfit. Fortunately, I could not find anything Japanese for her to wear. I wanted her to have a basically kimono or a Japanese school outfit or something like that, but unfortunately I couldn't find anything, especially not anything that would accommodate her tails, which are made out of pipe cleaners, which is pretty clever of my cousin. Her ears are also made with pipe cleaners. Her skin is obviously painted. Like I said, you can see patches of her original skin if you look carefully. So it may be hard because I'm sitting underneath a window. Well, there's a window in front of me, and the light's coming down on the doll. But, and also in the story, her eyes, she's wearing contacts. Because I'm gonna make it so in Japan she used to have to wear glasses. Basically, when she came to America, she wanted to recreate her look, so she started wearing contacts, dyed her hair. And basically, Monster High is a big change for her because she does speak English, but she's from Japan, so she has an accent like Abby. But basically, when she says words with the letter L in it, she says it with an R sound instead, like because they don't really have L's in Japan. That's a fact. Look it up. Another thing about her is that she back in Japan she always wore a school uniform, so that's another change for her. Because in Japanese schools you always wear a uniform, which is why a lot of animes you see in high school and middle school you see kids wearing all the same outfit. That's because it's the school uniform, and that's also how people from other schools identify you. They see the uniform and goes, oh, that's the uniform for such and such high or such and such middle or junior high. And so that's part of one of the biggest changes for her. She basically can wear almost whatever she wants to school now. So that's a big transition for her. She's not used to that. Another thing for her is that she basically has to make new friends. She has to just not transforming in school because she doesn't need to hide what she is now. At her old school, she didn't really want to freak anybody out. Neither did anyone in her family. So she and her family would transform into humans and basically go about their business like that. She is fully articulated like all Monster High dolls. And hopefully, maybe after somebody sees this, I'm gonna tell about my idea, and maybe I'll actually see dolls of her on the shelves, which would be pretty darn cool. Also, I've noticed another thing about Monster High is that they have no autistic monsters. Monsters who have learning disorders or anything like that, like me. I have Asperger's syndrome, which is basically ADD for smart kids. I can focus on things I like, for example, Monster High or anime. But on things I don't like, I'm really stuck. For example, I hate math because basically math is just something I suck at. I really hate math. But as you can see, I got this stand up from another doll. But as you can see, she's pretty cool looking. I'm gonna do a pretty good job on making her for me. It was a 2 dog kit. She used the other dog to make a doll for her friend's daughter for Christmas. But I really appreciate what she did for me making this doll because I worked really hard on trying to come up with the ideas for her. Because, I had the idea in my mind, take a kitsune, or a kiwi no yoko, basically, or a kiwi no kitsune, basically a nine-tailed fox demon from Japanese mythology, make it into a doll. And I'm really pleased with how she turned out. She does have powers, which include transformation. She can turn into a full-fledged fox with 5 tails, obviously, because she's still immature, like I said. She can turn into a human girl. Whoa, gotta keep her hair on. It's not glued down yet. She has claws, obviously. She can create balls of fire called foxfire that she can fire at people. And pretty much that's it for right now. See you later. Say bye bye, Sakura. Wait, there we go.